13 cruise tricks that really work. Cruise ships are full of hidden secrets, things the crew definitely don't want you to know, things that could save you money, make your trip smoother, and even make you the smartest cruiser on the ship. But here's the thing, not every tip you find online is a game changer. Some tips are just, well, meh. But today, I'm sharing 13 cruise tricks that really work. These are the ones I've learned the hard way, and let me tell you, you're going to wish you knew these before your next cruise. And trust me, you won't believe number 9. It's something that literally every cruiser gets wrong. Stick around, because these are the tricks that could just change the way you cruise forever. Tip number 1. Take photos or videos of your cabin upon arrival. When you first step into your cabin, you might be too excited about the view or that fresh ocean breeze. But here's something you need to do before you unpack your bags. Take photos or videos of everything. Why? Well, if there's any existing damage in your room, scratches on the furniture, stains on the carpet, or even marks on the walls, you do not want to be blamed for it when you check out. It's actually more common than you think. Sometimes, these damages are missed during the initial inspection, and if the staff doesn't notice them until later, guess who gets the bill? That's right, you. But if you've taken photos or video, you can prove it was there when you arrived. It's your insurance policy, and believe me, it could save you a lot of frustration and money at the end of your cruise. And here's the best part. If you do spot damage and you let guest services know early, you might just get an upgrade. Seriously, if they've missed something obvious, they could be more than happy to move you to a nicer room to avoid any issues. Who doesn't love a surprise upgrade? So, before you start enjoying your cruise, take those photos or videos. It's one small step that can really save you a headache later. Trust me. Tip number 2. Think twice before tipping the spa. Okay, who loves a good spa day while cruising? I know I do. But here's something you definitely need to know. When it comes to tipping at the spa, you might be double tipping without even realizing it. You see, the spa is a separate company from the cruise line, and they auto-tip you 18% when you're handed the bill. And I get it. You don't really think much about it when you're in vacation mode, until you get the final bill and realize you've tipped again. Here's how it works. When you get your spa service, they don't provide you an itemized bill on the spot. They just hand you the total. So you're thinking, great, I've paid and tipped already. But guess what? That's only the start. When your final bill comes, you'll see the auto gratuity added, and then you'll likely throw in your own tip. That's double the tip you meant to leave. Now, I'm all for rewarding great service, but be aware that this is a classic money sucker if you don't keep an eye out. So next time you're at the spa, ask them to break down the charges. And, if you're planning on tipping extra, be sure you're not double dipping. You'll be amazed how many people don't realize this until it's too late. Tip number 3. Your balcony isn't as private as you think. Ah, the balcony, the perfect spot to unwind and take in the view. You probably think you've got a private slice of the ocean all to yourself, right? Well, think again. Many cruise ships have security cameras around the ship, and yes, that includes your balcony. So, if you've been dancing, sunbathing in your favorite swimsuit, or just lounging around in your bathrobe thinking no one's watching, you might want to think twice. Now, I'm not saying there's someone actively sitting there watching your every move. We're not that creepy. But trust me, someone is always keeping an eye out for safety reasons. And while that dance you did might be fun for you, it's not exactly the best look for the cameras. So keep that in mind before you start getting too comfortable out there. You'll still have plenty of privacy in your cabin, just maybe save the spontaneous dance-offs for the club. You've been warned. Tip number 4. Best cruise deals are found at the end of the cruise. If you're like most cruisers, you probably want to grab the best deal right when you book your cruise, right? Well, what if I told you that the best deals could actually be waiting for you at the end of your cruise? Here's the scoop. As your cruise comes to an end, the ship's crew will often be looking to fill empty cabins for future sailings, and they'll offer deals that are hard to resist. You can find last-minute deals on excursions, onboard activities, and even future cruises at a significant discount. But here's the catch. Don't rush to book everything at the beginning of your cruise. The best time to book is at the end, when the deals are hot, hot, hot. This is a great way to save money on your next trip while you're already on board, getting the full cruise experience. And if you're planning your next cruise while still enjoying the one you're on, take a deep breath and wait for the deals to come in at the end. Just like everything in life, Sometimes the best things are worth the wait. But it's not just about booking your next cruise, it's also the best time to shop. Toward the end of the trip, you'll find that many of the cruise ship shops offer big discounts on their merchandise. Sometimes, the same items you've been eyeing all cruise long will be sold for much cheaper prices than at the beginning of the trip. Some cruisers have ended up paying double the price for the same item because they bought it early. So, keep that in mind as you're browsing the shops. If you wait until the end of your cruise, you might snag a better deal and still have money left for some extra treats. Now, a quick word of caution. Cruise ship shops are often not run directly by the cruise lines. They're usually managed by third-party vendors. So, while the discounts might be tempting, be careful if you need a refund or exchange for a faulty item. It's not always the cruise line's responsibility to handle these issues, and the process could be more complicated than you think. Always double-check the return policies before you make that purchase, especially for high-ticket items. If you're enjoying these tips, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more, and leave Cruise for You in the comments if you're ready to sail smarter with these insider tricks. Tip number 5. Check for bed bugs as soon as you enter your cabin. You may not want to think about it, but bed bugs are real, and they've been known to hitch a ride on cruise ships. So, as soon as you enter your cabin, before you throw your stuff everywhere, check the bed. You might be surprised how many horror stories cruise guests share about bed bugs being spotted. Now, don't get freaked out. Just do a quick inspection of your bed and the surrounding areas. Look at the seams of the mattress, the sheets, and especially the corners. You don't need to go full detective mode, but just checking will save you a huge headache. If you spot anything at all, don't hesitate. Call guest services immediately. They'll likely offer you a free upgrade or another room. And let's be honest, that's the least they can do. You're on vacation, and no one wants to deal with that. So take a few extra seconds, inspect your bed, and cruise worry-free. Tip number 6. Put your suitcase under the bed to save space. Let's face it, cruise cabins are tiny, and finding space to unpack can feel like a game of Tetris. But here's a hack you won't find in your cruise brochure. Put your suitcase under the bed. Most cruise ship beds are surprisingly high off the floor, which gives you plenty of room to slide your suitcase under. This can make a world of difference, especially when you're trying to find space for your clothes, toiletries, and souvenirs. And here's the ultimate pro tip. Unpack as soon as you get to your cabin. This way, you're not living out of a suitcase for the entire trip, and you can feel like you've already won half the battle. It's a small win that makes the cruise much more relaxing. Trust me, once you unpack, it feels like you've already checked the boring stuff off your list and can just focus on the fun. Tip number 7. Use the shower clothesline to hang wet items. It's tempting to hang your towels and clothes on your balcony railings to dry after a long day of fun in the sun. But don't do it. You might think it's harmless, but it can actually cost you your balcony rights. There's an incident where an older couple got banned from using their balcony just for hanging towels out there to dry. It sounds ridiculous, right? But it's true. Hanging anything on the balcony can sometimes violate ship policies. So, use the clothesline in the shower instead. Every cabin has one, and it's perfect for drying your swimwear, towels, or any wet clothes. Plus, you won't risk losing your balcony privileges. It's simple, effective, and a much better option than risking a rule violation. Plus, your fellow cruisers will appreciate not having to look at your wet bathing suits hanging in the wind. Tip number 8. Wait until last call to leave the ship. We've all been there. The mad rush to get off the ship on debarkation day. Everyone's racing to the exit, battling through long lines, and most of them haven't even had breakfast yet. But here's a cruise hack that will save you a ton of stress and make the experience way smoother. Wait until the last call to leave the ship. I know. You're probably thinking, but I don't want to miss my flight. Here's the thing. The last call is usually only about an hour and a half after the first people start leaving, and you'll be shocked at how much smaller the line is. People who rush off early end up in long lines, and guess what? No one's getting on their flight any faster than you are. Plus, you've probably already planned to be back at the airport with plenty of time to spare. So why not take advantage of the extra time to enjoy your final moments on the ship? Have a leisurely breakfast, which you totally deserve after a week of buffet madness, and then stroll off the ship like the VIP cruiser you are. Another tip, if your flight is later in the day, consider flying out the next afternoon. You'd be surprised how many people rush to catch an early flight only to end up stuck at the airport for hours. If you can, Book that extra night and avoid the chaos of the early morning departures. It'll be so much more relaxing. Tip number 9. The electric key card hack. You know those little key card slots next to your cabin door? They're there to save electricity by automatically turning off the lights when you remove your key card. But here's the catch. Forget your key card in the slot and you're locked out of your cabin. This sounds like a nightmare, right? Imagine you head out for a day of fun, you pull your card out of the slot, and boom, the door automatically locks behind you. Now you've got to trek all the way down to guest services to get a new card and let you back into your room. No one has time for that. But here's a sneaky hack that will save you from that headache. Bring a spare card, or better yet, get creative with a towel clip or lanyard. You can attach it to your card and leave it in the slot. The bright, noticeable clip will make sure you never forget your card again. This way, you don't have to risk getting locked out, and you can keep the lights on without constantly worrying about it. It's a simple hack, but it'll save you from a lot of frustration and wasted time. So go ahead, use a clip, a lanyard, or even a keychain. Whatever works to keep that key card in the slot without the stress. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Tip number 10. The best way to eat at Chops or other specialty restaurants. Lunch at sea. If you're a fan of dining at specialty restaurants like Chops Grill on Royal Caribbean, you know those dinners can cost a pretty penny. But here's a game changer you probably didn't know. Lunch at sea is the way to go. Let me break it down. A dinner at Chops can cost $60 or more, but lunch? You're looking at around $25 to $30. That's less than half the price. And the best part? You're still getting the same amazing 8-ounce filet, jumbo shrimp, cocktails, and all the other specialties you love. Now, I know what you're thinking. What's the catch? Well, lunch does have a slightly different menu than dinner. You won't get the massive steak selection, but you can still get the core favorites. You'll pay less, and you'll still enjoy the luxury experience. And here's the real insider trick. In the last 2 years, during Black Friday specials, I've been able to score Chops lunch for as little as $17 to $19, a third of the regular price. So if you're looking to indulge without breaking the bank, make sure you book your specialty meals for lunch. Why pay full price for dinner when you can get the same quality meal during lunch at a fraction of the cost? Tip number 11. Fill out the post-cruise survey honestly. All right, time for a little cruise insider secret. The post-cruise survey is a goldmine for both you and the cruise staff. You probably already know that after your cruise, you'll get that survey asking about your experience. But here's the thing, not just any feedback is helpful. Your honest review, and I mean honest, matters a lot. Here's why. When you fill out the survey, it goes directly back to the manager of the crew member you're mentioning. If you had a great experience with someone, let them know. If you had a not-so-great experience, say that too, but in a constructive way. The survey plays a huge role in whether crew members get promotions or new contracts. Take a moment to snap a picture of your favorite crew member's name tag. It'll make remembering their name and spelling easier when you're filling out the survey. The positive feedback from a guest can seriously boost their chances of getting a promotion or being offered a new contract. You might even help someone advance their career just by taking a few minutes to complete that survey. So, don't just rush through it. Make your feedback count. It's your chance to thank great staff or point out areas that need improvement. Either way, your feedback is valuable and helps improve the cruise experience for everyone. Plus, it's the least you can do after all the amazing service you've gotten. Tip number 12. The ice cream puller is the most disgusting thing on the ship. This one might shock you, but it's a reality that needs to be addressed. Have you ever wondered how cruise ships manage to keep things running smoothly with tons of guests? Well, here's one of the grossest little secrets of ship life, the ice cream puller. You see, those ice cream machines by the buffet, they get touched by literally everyone. Kids, adults, people in a hurry, people who've just come from the pool. And let's be honest, some of them probably didn't wash their hands after using the restroom. I'm not here to ruin your ice cream, but honestly, the ice cream pullers are one of the most germ-infested spots on the entire ship. They're constantly being touched by passengers, some of whom might not even be thinking about hygiene. And to make matters worse, you can't really clean something like that effectively after every use. Now, I know you love a good soft serve cone, but if you're worried about germs, here's a pro tip. Grab a cup instead of an open cone, and use a napkin or tissue to avoid touching the handle of the machine directly. It's a small extra step, but it can save you from a potentially gross situation. After all, Vacation is supposed to be relaxing, not a science experiment. So next time you want that sweet treat, be mindful of the ice cream puller. Trust me, it's worth it. Tip number 13. You can order things that aren't on the menu. This might sound too good to be true, but here's an insider tip that's sure to impress your fellow cruisers. You can order things that aren't even on the menu. That's right. Cruise ship chefs have a ton of off-menu items that they don't advertise. If you have a favorite dish or want something special that you didn't see listed, just ask. Whether it's a special request for your dietary needs, a dish from a different restaurant on board, or even a variation of a regular dish, don't be afraid to ask. Here's the catch. Not every request will be granted, but you'd be surprised how much the kitchen is willing to accommodate. For example, if you love a particular entree from a different restaurant, ask your waiter if they can make it for you. Chances are, if it's available, they'll be more than happy to oblige. And don't forget, when it comes to special dietary needs, cruise lines are typically very accommodating. Whether you're vegetarian, gluten-free, or following a different type of diet, let them know ahead of time, and they'll provide options beyond what's listed on the menu. So, next time you're craving something outside the regular cruise fare, don't be shy to ask for something special. It could be the meal of a lifetime, and it's always worth asking for the extra treat. Why settle for the standard when you can have a customized cruise dining experience? And there you have it, 13 cruise tricks that really work. Now, there are some things that cabin stewards secretly hate that passengers do, and you might be surprised to find out if you're guilty of any of these. So, make sure to check out our next video, 14 Things Cabin Stewards Secretly Hate That Cruise Passengers Do. You won't want to miss this one.